So there is if certain expression, okay, and then you have your if block, and then you have else, and then there is else block. Okay, if this expression is true, then if block will be executed. If expression is false, then else block will be executed, right? So what we have seen is if and else, if and else. What I want to do is I want to okay, so I'll enter age. I will enter age, right? And the age can be between 10 to 100, or let me just say 0 to 100. Now, if my age is between 0 to 10, I am a, let me just say, toddler. Okay. And if it is 11 to 10 to 20, so call it, okay, this is, we'll call it as a kid. Okay. Then it is a teen. 20 to 30, we'll call it youth. Right. So for three different age groups, we have certain, I want to say print, either it is a kid or a teen or a youth. So so there are three kind of outputs that I'm expecting here. Okay, so if it is like, 30 to 100, I want to say like, teen, okay, kid, teen, youth, and like, we'll say citizen or something like that. Okay, so that's fine. Now the age can be anywhere, like, the age can be from 0 to 100. I can provide any number, but here as part of the output, I have four different kinds of output. I might want to print kid, teen, youth, or citizen based on the age. It will just print, right? This is my use case. This is the something that I have to get. So what I have here, if age is greater than, or let us say age is lesser than 10, I can say print kid. Okay. Okay, so this is one condition and done. Still we have to pass three conditions. Yes. That is when we'll say L if meaning else if meaning else if. In short, we'll write it as LF. LF age lesser than 20. Then say print teen. LF age lesser than 30, print youth. Okay. And in the last, then I'll say else print Is it clear? So here we have four different checks. So if age equals to 10, if less than 10. So now tell me what happens is, let us say my age here is 8. What happens? If age less than 10, is this condition true? The first condition, is it true?
True.
Yeah, it is true.
Right? Then it will say print and that's it. It will not check for anything else. Here, what it means is this entire thing is one block. This entire thing is one chain. If this is true, then it will not check for anything else. That's it. If this is true, it will say print kid and done. It will not look for if, else. No. Now let us say my age was 18. What happens? Age less than 10. 18 less than 10. True or false? 18 less than 10.
False.
True or false?
False.
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 So it will not go into this
False.
condition. Wrong. Then what is the immediate condition we have? Else if.
Else.
Else if. Age less than 20. 18 less than 20. True or false?
True.
True.
Right? And hence this block is true. It prints teen and that's it. End. Now my age is 30. Let me just write it properly. Age is 28. Age is 28. Now, age less than 10, 28 less than 10. True or false?
False.
False. It will not go into this. Now, 28 less than 20. True or false?
False.
False. It will not go into this. Now, 28 less than 30. True or false?
True.
Now, my age is 38. First, 38 less than 10. True or false? It will not enter into this. Then 38 less than 20. False. It will not enter into this. 38 less than 30. False. It will not enter into this. Then what is my option? Then I'll obviously go to my else block and print this. First we have seen only if block. Done. Then another combination that we have seen is if and else. This is another combination. And another combination is if, else if, and else. So this can be like anything. So I can have my combination just this way, right? Or if alone also works, if and else works, if else if and else works, or if and just elif also is a valid chain. This also works. But just else cannot work. Just so else should always comply with either if or else if. Without that, if I just want to write else, this is invalid. Right? I can write between if and else, between if and else, I can write as many elif as I want. Right? If you see here, right? Between if and else, there is elif1 and elif2. So between this, I can write as many elifs as I want, else if conditions, right? So I will write like if age is lesser than 40, then I want to say something else. If age is lesser than 50, I want to say something else. But technically what we are trying to see here is, so you can have multiple conditions, a chain of conditions. If this is false, then it will go to another condition. If this is false, it will go to another condition. If this is false, then it will go to the default. So here default is else. Whether this is true, if none of it is true, then it will be this case. It will come to the else block. Okay. Now note down the assignment. All right. Build a small application. Small application. Right. So there are different programming languages. So for example, Python, you have Java, you have C, you have C++, you have JavaScript, right? You have PHP. So there are a lot of programming languages. Now what you have to take is take a user input. You remember input function, right? Input, say enter programming language. That language you would have to capture into certain variable. If that language equals to Python, then you have to print creator name. You have to print creator name. So if I type Python, he will say Guido van Rossum. If I type, if the language is Java, you say James Gosling. If the language name is C, then you'll say Dennis Ritchie. And in the same way, any programming you choose, like, you just go with these programming languages to start with. So if I type C++, you have to print that respective programming language creator. If I type JavaScript, you have to print that programming language creator name. So here it isn't now, it is like, the language would be entered only once. The language would be entered only once. But what are the different possibilities that you have to check for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 possibilities. 6 possibilities. So which means you need a chain of if else if blocks, right?